Cool. So, welcome to Team GSD with my amazing new tagline, "Make lemonade." Because literally, that is the way of the world. That's the way of the business world. And I think if we wait for things to be perfect, we wait for things to be in order, we wait for the right time to do everything. Nothing happens. There is no right time. So we've got to get into this habit of kind of like, right, we got lemons, let's make lemonade. And what I'm creating with Team GSD is an environment that's based on a lot of insight I've had over the last couple of years. But one thing I really want you to kind of take away, and this is something that is, I actually don't think many people, a lot of people I come across in this particular market don't really fully grasp, is that what you offer has absolutely no value unless you can put it in the mind of your client. You can create the most fantastic, wonderful products, treatments, solutions, and you guys do create wonderful, amazing products, treatments, and solutions, but they have absolutely zero value unless you can actually put it into the mind of a human being and make them aware of the value of that particular treatment, product, or solution. So this whole environment is around getting shit done. It's about creating a production environment for you to be able to understand the value that you offer, but then effectively communicate that and put it into the mind of your client. So looking at what the sort of structure is and what the Team GSD is it's based around this, a common goal. We work really well as collaborative environments. That's one thing I've realized very much over the last few years from going from doing one-to-one coaching to group stuff is actually more effective because everybody's got a common goal. My job in this is to actually create the environment for you to build your confidence and competence in creating the messages, and everybody working together to drive all of that. We learn from each other. That's why it's great to like share wins. It's great to share insight, your experiences, because I guess I said, the environment for you to create that is there, but you're going to learn from each other. And that's equally as important almost as what you learned from me and Stevie and the guys. For me, it's not so much about what you learn, it's about what you do. So creating that common goal, strategy and best practice. There is such a waste of time in trial and error. And I've learned this myself. I've done it so many times trying to, I'll work it out, I'll work it out, work it out. It's kind of an ex-military thing, is we're quite resourceful. So we tend to try and work things out. And it's hard to ask questions and actually ask the right people. Well, hang a minute, you've done it before. Why don't I just ask you? So I'm going to share with you all of the insights I've picked up, not just in sort of the 20 years of sales and marketing in this market, but what I was doing beforehand. But also, I've been and coached and worked with hundreds and hundreds of businesses in this sector, and I've seen what works and I've seen what doesn't work. And a lot of people are still out there pushing levers that don't, or pulling levers that don't work. Not in the way they want to. Like, for example, starting a business from scratch and then spending loads of money on a website or spending loads of money on doing Facebook ads. There's a lot of things you can do beforehand that give you a lot of boost of revenue before you even need to do that. So we'll go through all of those. Tools and resources. So again, rather than you trying to do all these things yourself, I've created MAETRIX, we've created the AI aspect of it to actually help you create the content to free you up and allow you to spend the time that you are time poor, to allow you to spend that time focusing on creating bigger and better and more lucrative products and services to drive towards your clients. Because at the end of the day, creating content it does take time. We know this. So if we can put more on tools and resources into helping you avoid doing that, everybody wins. Putting a peer group together is because I'm quite selective over who I work with. There's a set of standards that everybody should pretty much adhere to, and it's an old. I remember the military. I think it was times of crisis. You don't rise to the challenge; you drop to the level of your training. So your standards that you guys are going to create amongst yourselves are going to be very, very high. So what you're going to create is going to be high, therefore effectively. And the final part of all this is structure this environment. It's about accountability, and this is why we're really lucky to have Stevie on, because I've said since been working with Stevie is if you want someone to hold you accountable, get an athlete to do it. Because if you think about how they have to live their lives, how they have to basically exist, it's all about structure, it's about accountability. Because if you want to be effective at that level, that elite level, then you've got to have a plan, you've got to execute your plan, and you have to maintain accountability. She's done it for us for years and is exceptional at it. So great to have Stevie on board.
Can I just add that I'm also not that scary at it?
In fact, now is probably a very good time actually if you could introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, because I haven't met like quite a lot of you. So I'm Stevie. I am sponsored athlete and the accountability coach for Team GSD. So I started life as a dentist and then launched my own aesthetics business, which Richard obviously helped me with and like taught me how to do that and not make a mess of it. And then from that, I was involved in the kind of wellness and nutrition sector. So alongside my triathlon, which is my sport, that's what I'm an athlete in. And I've competed up to so GB age group level, which is like the highest level of amateur sport. So I've competed nationally and internationally, whilst I've been juggling kind of like dentistry and running my own business and obviously doing performance coaching and nutrition coaching and all of that kind of stuff now. So my current situation is that I work in a dental surgery and I put my aesthetics into that. And then I do nutrition coaching, performance coaching outside of that, and obviously for you guys as well. So yeah, basically I'm an expert in being really, really busy. So I work really, really well with you guys because you guys are like, oh yeah, I'm so busy. Like I've got a family and I've got a clinic and I got to do this. And it's like, I laugh because people are like, oh yeah, this is the busiest week. And I'm like, no, it's fine. We got it handled. We can do this. So there is not a problem that, there's not a barrier that you can come across that I can't help you with. So like when we talk about accountability and stuff, I'm all about, okay, if we didn't manage to get things done, like what was the thing that got in the way? I can guarantee somebody else in the room had the problem, and I can guarantee I've probably come up against it as well. So my job is basically to help you get rid of those and understand how you can get rid of them so they don't come back again as well. So that's me.
So yeah, so it's the accountability sessions that Stevie will be running on all sort of alternate Mondays. Again, as he sort of said, that they're not sessions to kind of beat you up for not doing stuff. It's more about actually really understanding what the blockers are, what's preventing you, because unless you get rid of those, they'll just keep coming back and back and back and back and back. So we need to kind of work strategies on how to actually get them through. So what is it we're going to be doing? What are you going to get? Well, down the left-hand side is essentially what we'll be focusing on over the next period of time: goals, plans, culture, content, community, opportunity, and revenue. And the reason that these are important is because the direct opposite of them is exactly what you guys want to be, focused, confident, unique, standing out in your own market, prominent, not invisible, remarkable. I love that word, having a remarkable business with, customers who know, like, and trust you, raving fans. Being resourceful, knowing the right places to look for things, and cash rich. Because the negative of that is a lot of people are drifting, possibly while you're here. Some of this will resonate with you, maybe all of it will resonate with you, but drifting a little bit, a bit overwhelmed, often feeling that you've got this sort of standardized identikit business that doesn't really, it's just, you create lots of content and it doesn't really resonate with anybody because it's not that unique. So you feel a bit invisible, a bit unremarkable, and that has an impact on your processes. So you don't really maximize your resources of time, energy, and money. And as a result, you burn cash unnecessarily, become cash strapped. So to avoid all of that, we're literally just going to jump straight from this. We're going to have a goal. We're going to have a plan. We're going to define your culture. We're going to start focusing very heavily on creating really high quality, engaging content. We're going to bring in a community. And what I mean by that is people say it's my database, my client list. Think of it as just a community. It's a tribe of people who know, like, and trust you. Improve your processes. And those of you who've got staff, one of the biggest challenges I see around staffing is actually a lack of process, documented process. And even when people outsource things to like social media teams and that kind of stuff, a lot of it's done without process. So it fails. And we're going to fix the problem of revenue. And I know this is the big one, especially at the moment, people with cost of living crisis and all that kind of stuff. Forget about all of that. It can be fixed. People are out there making a load of money, and you're going to be one of them as well. So the tools and resources we've got. So as he said, so you've got access to kind of 3 different platforms. One is MAETRIX, and I'll take you through that in a little bit. Every couple of weeks, we'll do a Zoom storm. So basically what that is that's going to be a live coaching session with me. So you can submit anything you want me to have a look at beforehand. So if you're working on a website, working on a brochure, if there's a strategy, something that you're stuck on, ping it over to me ahead of time, and I'll have a look at it. And then what I'll do is I'll talk about it on the Zoom storm, because I think what tends to happen is challenges cluster around the same sort of topic. So I can use kind of one as a case study and work through that on the Zoom storm. The accountability sessions are kind of dotted in between all of that. And that, as I say, that's to just keep you focused and productive. It's easy for everybody to come into this process with lots of energy and enthusiasm, and it's hard to maintain that. So we've got to, this not be unrealistic and say you're not going to maintain that enthusiasm all the way through it, but we've got to help you through those periods when you're not as productive as you could be. And there are easy ways that you can do that and tips that we can give you to do that. Like, for example, quick one is, if you're creating video, don't create one video, create 5. You sat there, the camera's there, do 5 videos, because then when you're not feeling productive, you've got 4 videos you can put out. There you go. Big tick, job done. We need our weekly processes. So every week we're going to be looking for a perfect weekly, a repeatable week. So, or let's take it as Monday. Monday at 6 a.m. I'm going to ping an email out, and that email can be slightly a little bit motivational, but it's also going to contain a suggestion for content. So again, I've listened to what you guys want, and often I don't quite know what to think. I don't know quite what to say, what content to put out. So what I'm going to do on Mondays is give you a suggestion based around maybe what's happening in the world. It might be International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So I will put, here's an idea. Why don't you do a bit of content based around that? So I'll give you some ideas. But obviously what I do want to do is to teach you guys actually to create your own content calendars. So that will go out on Monday. And then we're going to think through, what's our goal for the week? Actually start tracking our own intentions and our own progress. What is it we want to achieve this week? Again, a lot of us, I think, sometimes start the week a little bit flat because it's like, right, it's Monday and I don't quite know what I'm doing. Well, let's start with a bit of a plan for the week. A goal. Set your intention. What are we going to be doing this week? What are the tasks that I have to do? And again, not too exhaustive. There's generally, 3 or 4 kind of key things that we'll need to do in that week, and then record that in MAETRIX. Complete the insight engine. So again, if you've not come across this, don't worry, I'm going to dig into MAETRIX immediately after this. But get your content planned, create and publish it. Key thing being publish it. Get it built and get it out there. We've created a production environment. Prolific beats perfect. Don't overthink it. Oh, that's not quite right. It's good enough. Get it out there. We can improve over time. There might be a topic in MAETRIX that you might want to be learning about, and you'll be focusing on that. And then at the end of the week, we reflect. So, what worked? What was our successes for this week? Importantly, what didn't work? What did we do that just fell flat? And what can we do better? And once we start doing that, we go again. And if you think from where you are right now, you may not be doing all of this. You may not be doing any of this. You might be doing some of this. But if you can structure your week like this, and you repeat that, was it roughly 44 working weeks in a year, and you repeat that 44 times, how do you think your business will be at the end of the year? So basically, you can see that what we're trying is incremental wins and moving step by step all the way through. One thing I want to make very, very clear is, I don't do bullshit quick fix systems. There's no such thing. A quick fix doesn't actually last. You need to take a strategic approach to business and looking at your sales and marketing. As your skills improve, your confidence grows, the revenue will increase. But it does take time, and it's all about you. It's what you do that will make the difference. So how to get the most from the program and how to get the most from me is one. I know it sounds really simple, right? Show up. You've just got to show up. Because I can't help you if you're not here, and I can't help you if you're not doing the work, and I can't help you if you're not communicating to me. So, that's the commitment that you've made to yourselves to be here. So make sure that you make every effort you can to come to the Zoom storms, come to the accountability sessions, and just work through the program. And if you get stuck, put your hand in the air, shout, Rich, I'm stuck. And if you're really stuck, we'll just jump on a call together and I'll help you out. Okay. Don't try and rush it. There's the prize at the end of all of this is growth, consistency and revenue. That's what the prize is. It's not something that you can complete. Business isn't something that you complete. You're going to be doing this over and over and over again until you either fold the business or you quit. You know, there is no end. It's just improvement, continual improvement, incremental gains over a period of time. And trust the process. You know, we know what we're doing, and it's not that's that's not an arrogant thing. It's just, we've had a lot of success from what I've done, taking small businesses to a place, taking established businesses and making them better, helping people generate revenue, feel more confident with what they're doing, saving time. We know what we're doing. Don't overthink it. And it's a common thing that I come across is it right? Is it wrong? This is business, sales, and marketing. There's no real right or wrong. There's just stuff that works and stuff that doesn't work. And there is a fair amount of, pushing buttons, but we tend to know the things that don't work. So I steer you away from doing those sorts of things. But a lot of the time it is just prolific beats perfect. Unless you can afford to go to a studio for a week and film amazing content, great, do that. But if you can't, your phone is going to be the thing that takes you all the way through all of this. Remember, change just needs time to change, and we always move forward. So what are you going to get out of all of this? I'll pop all these slides onto MAETRIX with the video as well that accompany this, so you can have all these to go through. But ultimately, what we're going to be breaking out is, this is what I want you to get: more time, more energy, and more money. Because you're in business to generate an income that funds your lifestyle. That's what most of us are here for. There is a process to do it. And if we can save ourselves time, we can invest our energies into generating more revenue. That's the fact. But at the moment, what tends to happen is a lot of people stuck in this whole valley of death where there's no time. So they haven't got the time to invest in the processes that help them make more money. And it just goes around in this whole horrible cycle. So people feel like they've got to drop their costs, etc., etc. And that's not what we're doing. But also, the more important things is you're going to be better looking and more fun at parties. That's super important. Cool. All right. So last thing, the support that you'll get. So as I said, if you get stuck, use the WhatsApp group to ask questions, and just make sure you tag me if there's anything you want me to be aware of. The Zoom storms, give me your questions at least a day before to give me a little bit of time to actually, if it's something you want me to look at, give me a chance to look at it. If there's something that you want specific knowledge on, give me a chance to actually go and research that and look at that. So give me a bit of time to work on these things. When we come onto the Zoom storms, please focus on core principles. Don't get bogged down with, how do I do this or how do I do that? It's not a nuts and bolts session. It's top line. There are a lot of tutorials out there on YouTube that I can point you in a direction of if you want to know how to use an iPhone to take video. So don't get bogged down with all of that detail. Let's keep top level and think strategic when you come to those sessions. If you're stuck on MAETRIX, look at the tutorial videos before you ask for help. And if you have done everything and you're still stuck, give me a buzz and I'll grab a call with you. But last thing is, don't email me. I'm really bad with email. Easiest thing to do, if you want a quick answer from me, WhatsApp. Just ping me on WhatsApp and I'll get back to you. I'm shockingly bad with email. Is that you nodding your head there, Stevie?
No, I have a bad twitch in my neck. You are the worst man on email. I have like a direct email address in the same server as you, and you ignore me all the fucking time. When I worked doing like ops for you, it was a nightmare. It was just, you are not an email man. It's not for you.
No, email sucks, man. I've always hated email.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you met me, you met Stevie. I won't go through this now. These basically is couple of tools that you can get to track some of the stuff on MAETRIX before you go in, but they're pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to kill you off with slides, but there we go. So all I will say though is it's great to have you here. Lean into the process. It will be like herding cats a little bit in the initial stages because these things always are, but don't be afraid to ask questions, and really just dig into MAETRIX and start creating content, start testing it out, start playing with it, and work through the process, and we'll get where we need to get to.